Good afternoon to all our viewers. Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I am Deepika Mehto, and coming up in the next 30 minutes. Campaigning to conclude on Sunday evening for the third phase of India's general elections. 93 seats in 11 states and 1 union territory to go to the polls on the 7th of May. Progress in Gaza truce talks after first round of negotiations ended in Cairo. Talks to resume on Sunday. Hamas reiterates deal should include commitment towards an end to the conflict. Devastating floods ravage East Africa. Over 600,000 people affected. Tropical cyclone Hidayah threatens to worsen humanitarian crisis in flooded nations. And Real Madrid continues their domination in Spanish football as they successfully lift their record extending 36th La Liga title. So those were the top headlines of the hour that we're tracking for all our viewers here on DD India Live. And first up, let's get you all the latest on the world's largest democratic elections across India. Well, campaigning for the third phase of India's general elections will end on Sunday evening, and voting for this phase will be held on the 7th of May across 93 constituencies covering 10 states and 1 union territory. The states that will go to the polls are Assam, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Gujarat, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, along with Daman and Diu. As many as 1,351 candidates are in the fray for the third phase polls. Some of the prominent names contesting the Lok Sabha elections include Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Rebel BJP leader K.S. Ashwarappa, Union Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia, Dimple Yadav, Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Supriya Sule. Campaigning for the fourth phase of Lok Sabha elections, which is scheduled for the 13th of May, gains momentum as political leaders are holding rallies and roadshows across the nation. And in order to garner support of voters in the favour of party's candidate, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will now visit the political powerhouse state of UP, where he will be holding a rally in Etawah and Sitapur. Later in the day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also visit the holy city of Ayodhya to seek the blessings of Lord Ram. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also hold a roadshow in the city of Ayodhya. At the invitation of the Election Commission of India, 75 delegates from the election management bodies of 23 countries are all set to witness the world's largest elections unfold. The election body is now holding an election visitors program for the foreign visitors to familiarize them with the nuances of India's electoral system and the best practices used in India. Ahead of the 7th of May polling, various awareness programs are being organized across the country to appeal the voters to come out and exercise their franchise. One such awareness program was organized in Gujarat's Ahmedabad, where people from all walks of life participated in Run for Vote. Assam is going to the third phase of the polling on the 7th of May. And one of the key constituencies, Guwahati, where the revered Kamakhya temple is located. The proposed temple corridor has given a big shot to the local economy. Here's a report.
Religious tourism in India has been on an upward trajectory in the last few years. Assam plans to build a corridor at the Kamakhya temple in Guwahati, just like Varanasi's Kashi Vishwanath temple corridor, giving a major push to the religious tourism sector in the country. In fact, the project has the potential to become the gateway of tourism to the whole of Northeast. Watch this special report. In Assam, the revered Kamakhya temple stands as a symbol of spirituality, and devout reverence. The state government of Assam has recently revealed an ambitious initiative to revamp the temple complex, drawing inspiration from the majestic Kashi Vishwanath temple corridor in Varanasi. Imagine strolling through a sprawling corridor adorned with the intricate designs leading you to the sanctum sanctorum of Kamakhya Devi. The proposed corridor will not only enhance the spiritual experience but also provide ample space for the devout pilgrims. Assam's gears up for the third phase of poll on May 7th, and the proposed temple corridor promises a significant boost to the local economy.
The temple is the center of the Kulachara Tantra Marga and the site of the Ambubachi Mela, an annual festival that celebrates the power of the goddess.
With the holding capacity for thousands of pilgrims, organizing festivals like Ambubachi Mela will be quite easy, ensuring a smoother and more enriching experience.
It is my second visit to the temple. It is wonderful to witness the vibrant power of goddess for the second time.
Study shows that religious tourism has witnessed a staggering increase in recent years. In 2022 alone, over 1,439 million tourists flocked to religious sites across India, contributing a whopping 1.34 lakh crore to the economy. Religious tourism sector is expected to generate a revenue of 59 billion by 2028, creating 140 million temporary and permanent jobs by 2030, thus giving an impetus to the vision of a developed India by 2047. With camera person Naveen, this is Tapush Bhattacharya for GD India from Assam.
Now, as the campaigning nears conclusion for the third phase of polling in Karnataka, the focus is now shifted to ensure that the voting percentage remains healthy despite the extreme heat wave that has gripped parts of the state. Sweep programs are being conducted in villages to encourage maximum participation in the polling. Ravi Dhiman reports.
The ancient 6th century Shiv temple in Enigari village in Dharwad district of southern Indian state of Karnataka is accustomed to traditional diyas or lamps being lit inside to worship the deity. But this evening there are plenty of lights lit up just outside the courtyard. These are not the devotees but the volunteers under the sweep program of the Election Commission of India, organizing a small candlelight event for voter awareness. Sweep, or the Systematic Voters Education and Electoral Participation, is a flagship program of the Election Commission of India to promote voter education and participation in elections. Owing to excessive heat during daytime, sweep programs in many districts of Karnataka are being organized during the evening. Owing to excessive heat during daytime, sweep programs in many districts of Karnataka were organized during the evening or early morning. Just a few kilometers away from Enigiri, these workers desilting the village pond were in for a nice surprise early in the morning. District administration under the sweep program engaged volunteers to make a huge rangoli, a colorful art form prevalent in India, for spreading voter awareness. Umachagi has been identified as a low voter turnout village. The effort here is to ensure that the farmers understand the power of their vote and come out in numbers to participate in polling on May 7th.
See, this village has low voter turnout in the polling booth here in the village. So to address that, we have planned a sweep activity to create awareness about what is the support system, what are the facilities in the polling booth and why they should vote. So we are educating them and motivating them to go and vote on 7th May.
Later a cake was also cut to mark the event and everyone took an oath to cast his or her vote on May 7th. The villagers, reeling under drought conditions, are struggling to cope with the extreme weather and scanty rainfall in the area. The colorful depiction, perhaps, is telling them that polls are the most important festival of democracy and that their vote can certainly add shades to the rangoli of life.
Every small step that makes India achieve a higher voter turnout is in fact a giant leap in strengthening democracy in our country. Small initiatives like these go a long way in strengthening the entire system. Rangolis in this part of India are usually made to make the guest feel welcome. There is no doubt that Rangoli, especially Rangolis like these, will make the villagers feel special when they step out of their homes on May 7th to cast their vote and participate in this huge festival of democracy. With camera person Murmukut Sharma, Ravi Dhiman for DD India in Dharwad.
Now, from praising India's global image, India's stance on terrorism, China border dispute and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's firm stand, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar highlighted the changes witnessed under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In an interview given to a weekly newspaper, Dr. Jaishankar said that now it is a Bharat First policy, unlike what it was before. Speaking on Indo-China relations, Dr. Jaishankar said that we have history that we cannot wish away. Now, the answer is to develop our border infrastructure and build deep national capabilities. It also means safeguarding the critical infrastructure and core manufacturing area. Giving the message to the international community, Dr. Jaishankar said that India will always be a force of stability and it will always be a force of global good. In Jammu and Kashmir, security has been tightened after an Indian Air Force convoy was attacked by the terrorists on Saturday. One soldier of the Indian Air Force was martyred, while 4 others were injured when 2 of the vehicles, including one of the Indian Air Force, came under firing from terrorists in the Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir. The security forces have now cordoned off the area and have launched a hunt against the terrorists. The security forces flagged marched in many areas of Poonch on Sunday morning and strengthened barricading in entire Poonch district. Several Indian states witnessed maximum temperatures in the range of 42 to 45 degrees Celsius on Saturday, with heat waves intensity declining in east parts of southern peninsular India. The IMD has predicted relief from the scorching conditions in several Indian states from the 5th till the 9th of May. Maximum temperatures will be above normal in Telangana and Rayalaseema. Early on Saturday, some parts of Telangana, Vidarbha, Rayalaseema and interiors of Odisha, north interior of Karnataka, Marathwada, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Maharashtra, Central Maharashtra and East UP witnessed maximum temperatures in the range of 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. Nandyal in Andhra Pradesh sizzled at 46 and was the hottest place across the country on Saturday. Northeast Indian state of Assam got relief from scorching heat as the Himalayan state received heavy rains since morning. Indian Meteorological Department has predicted a spell of heavy to very heavy rainfall accompanied by thunderstorms and gusty wind in the northeastern part of the country till Monday. As per IMD, fairly widespread to widespread, light to moderate accompanied with isolated thunderstorm is very much likely over Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Nagaland, Manipur, Mirzapur and Tripura during next 5 days. And now in DD India Live, let's quickly take a look at other stories making news around the country. The National Testing Agency is conducting the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test (NEET UG) for undergraduate courses in medical institutions across the country. More than 24 lakh candidates are appearing for the exam and will be conducted in 13 languages, with centres spread across 557 cities of India and 14 abroad. The foreign cities include Kuwait, Dubai, Abu Dhabi and Bangkok. Indian Coast Guard Station Mandapam recovered 97 kilograms of endangered sea cucumbers. The sea cucumbers are recovered from the North Verdilai seashore in Park Strait. These precious species are protected under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and were handed over to the Tamil Nadu Forest Department for conservation efforts. Karnataka Janata Dal secular MLA H.D. Revanna was arrested by a special investigation team official after a court in Bengaluru rejected his anticipatory bail petition on Saturday. He was arrested in a kidnapping case linked to sexual abuse allegations against his son and Hassan MP Prajwal Revanna. H.D. Revanna was picked up from the Padmanabhagar residence of his father H.D. Devagowda. 3 children drowned while taking bath in Vaihar Canal of the Kishni police station area of UP's Mainpuri. As per the officials, search and rescue teams retrieved the body of one of the children while search is on for the other 2. Deputy Collector of Kishni Mainpuri said 4 children had came here to take bath and 3 of them are still missing. First school in Jammu and Kashmir, Udhampur has integrated rooftop farming into its curriculum to educate students about plant growth and the importance of organic produce. The initiative is spearheaded by the school principal in collaboration with the Udhampur Agriculture Department that aims to cultivate a generation of health-conscious individuals. It's time to take a short break here on DD India Live, but still to come on the other side. Russia puts Ukrainian President Zelensky on its wanted list. Labour's Sadiq Khan wins record 3rd term as the Mayor of London. And world number 1 Iga Swiatek outlasts Arina Sabalenka in marathon finale to win the Madrid Open. Andrei Rublev to face Felix Auger in men's singles finale.
Hype versus facts. In-depth news and analysis with experts who will help you decide why this election matters. DD India is the main election headquarters with numbers most accurate, data most reliable, and viewership across the platforms. Stay tuned to the Great Indian Election only on weekdays at 8:30 p.m. IST and 1500 hours GMT.
Welcome back. After that short break, you're watching DD India Live with me, Deepika. Well, efforts are intensified to secure a deal for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of hostages, with talks resuming in Cairo on Saturday. Hamas's negotiators have returned to the Egyptian capital to resume long-running talks brokered by Egypt and Qatar that would temporarily pause Israel's offensive in Gaza in return for freeing the hostages. Hamas is insisting any deal makes a specific commitment towards an end to the conflict, but Israel is reluctant to agree while the group remains active in Gaza. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has repeatedly insisted that there will be a fresh military ground operation in the southern Gazan city of Rafah, even if a deal is agreed. Thousands of protesters rallied in Tel Aviv on Saturday, demanding the release of around 130 hostages still held in Gaza. The protests are being held in other parts of the country, demanding immediate release of hostages. Saturday's protests were held on the eve of Holocaust Memorial Day. The day is observed from sundown, the 5th of May, till sundown, the 6th of May. It comes a week before the Remembrance Day for the fallen of Israel's wars and victims of terrorism and Independence Day. Israel's Holocaust Remembrance Day begins Sunday night, and this year, as the Israel-Hamas conflict entered its 7th month, the day takes on added symbolism. It is the first Remembrance Day since Hamas's 7th of October attack, which was the deadliest day since the Holocaust. Yom HaShoah that was first observed in Israel in 1951 and became enshrined into a law later in the decade is viewed by many Jewish communities around the world as their primary day for Holocaust remembrance. Later in the evening, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Isaac Herzog will join Israel's Holocaust Remembrance Day opening ceremony in Jerusalem. And now an update on Russia-Ukraine crisis. Well, Russia has opened a criminal case against Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and put him on a wanted list on Saturday, an announcement Ukraine dismissed as evidence of Moscow's desperation. Ukraine's foreign ministry noted that Russian President Vladimir Putin was himself subjected to arrest under an international criminal court warrant. It said the Russian announcement was evidence of the desperation of the Russian state machine and propaganda that can think of no other way to attract attention. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that Ukrainian forces shot down a Russian Su-25 fighter bomber over the Donetsk region in eastern Ukraine on Saturday. In his nightly video address, Zelensky said Russia had used 8 missiles of various kinds and nearly 70 guided aerial bombs against communities and frontline positions during the day, after Ukraine's Air Force downed 13 Shahed drones that targeted the Kharkiv and Dnipro region overnight. Zelensky added Moscow had no desire for peace.
We should all keep in mind that only by force can Russia be made to leave Ukraine alone. This will happen. Our efforts are sure to bring that about.
Taiwan, on the other hand, leveled accusations against Chinese military aircraft for yet another breach of the sensitive Taiwan Strait on Sunday. Taiwan's Ministry of Defense said it detected 7 Chinese military aircraft and 5 naval vessels operating around Taiwan from 6 a.m. local time on Saturday and 6 a.m. local time on Sunday. According to Taiwan's Defense Ministry, one of the 7 Chinese military aircraft crossed the median line of the Taiwan Strait and entered Taiwan's southwest air defense identification zone. In response to Chinese action, Taiwanese armed forces monitored the situation and deployed combat patrol aircraft, naval vessels and coastal missile systems. So far in May, Taiwan has detected Chinese military aircraft 39 times and naval vessels 21 times. Moving on to the United Kingdom, Sadiq Khan has been elected as the Mayor of London, winning a historic 3rd term after a dramatic contest. Sadiq Khan was declared the winner on Saturday afternoon with 43.8% of the vote. Sadiq from the Labour Party was initially elected to the post in 2016, becoming London's first Muslim player, and is now the first politician to win 3 consecutive terms since the role was created back in the year 2000. Panamanians will elect a new country leader on Sunday amid a political crisis marked by discontent with the current government. 8 candidates are in the presidential race, but the spotlight is on Jose Raul Mulino, former President Ricardo Martinelli's running mate, who is leading the polls. Panamanians hope that the election will bring a change in the country's leadership. High inflation and a stagnant economy have generated widespread unrest in the Central American country. Panama's economy, once a regional GDP leader, has slowed dramatically in recent years. The IMF forecast GDP growth of just 2.5% this year, which is down from 7.3% last year. China's President Xi Jinping heads to Paris on Sunday for a rare visit to meet his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron. Francis Macron is set to press him to reduce trade imbalances and try to convince him to use his influence on Russia over the war in Ukraine. Now, the official meetings will include joint talks with Macron and European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen. France will also seek to make progress on opening the Chinese market to its agricultural exports and also resolve issues around the French cosmetic industry's concerns about intellectual property rights. France has been keen to nudge China into pressuring Moscow to halt operations in Ukraine, with little progress so far, apart from Xi's decision to call Ukraine's President Zelensky for the first time shortly after Macron visited Beijing last year. On Tuesday, Macron will take Xi to the Pyrenees mountains he holds specially dear as his maternal grandmother's birthplace. Xi will also leave France on Tuesday afternoon to head to Russia-friendly Serbia and Hungary. Tropical cyclone Hidaya has made landfall on the coast of Tanzania. The Tanzanian Meteorological Authority reports that several coastal regions have encountered unprecedented rainfall. TD India's Isaac Lucando has more.
Record-breaking rainfall of 200 millimeters was recorded in Tanzania's southern region of Lindi, contrasting sharply with the typical May average of 90 millimeters. As Cyclone Hidaya approached the East African coast with maximum winds of 120 kilometers per hour and powerful gusts, ferry services between Tanzania's commercial hub, Dar es Salaam, and Zanzibar were suspended. Cyclones seldom make landfall on Tanzania's coast due to its proximity to the equator, but authorities cautioned residents as Cyclone Hidaya's intensity escalated. In the same vein, the Tanzania Red Cross Society conducted preparedness campaigns along the coast. coast. Heavy rains and flooding in Tanzania over recent weeks have claimed the lives of 161 individuals, with over 200,000 others affected. In neighboring Kenya, the government says 70 deaths have been reported since the onset of the rainy season in March. While Dar es Salaam has largely been spared from the cyclone's effects, further rain is anticipated. The East African region remains highly susceptible to climate change, with El Niño projected to persist through May. Isaac Lukando in Dar es Salaam, reporting for DD India.
And now a quick update from the world of sports. Real Madrid continued their dominance in Spanish football as they successfully clinched their 36th La Liga title with 4 games to spare, dashing the hopes of their closest rivals Barcelona. Madrid, a comprehensive 3-0 victory over relegation-threatened Cadiz, even with a lineup predominantly of bench players, was enough to secure the title as Barcelona stumbled to a 4-2 defeat against Girona. Real Madrid fans celebrated outside Santiago Bernabeu on Saturday. And that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it right now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I am Deepika Mehta, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for joining us and watching DD India Live. Namaskar.